Dave here. How are you? Now you see that I've started off the show with the bench here and two different cameras. I'm hoping the stream's coming through well. I'm going to get straight into it. We're going to read what's going to happen in the show in a minute, but I really have a packed show. So I'm going to do a little bit of stuff here to start off. And beautiful, excellent. Thank you, Tippo. Tippo's a new moderator for me today. Now, last week, I hope you can see me here. Last week, I started on the quilting project, or the quilting bench project for Viki. Because of the COVID situation, her sewing machine has not arrived yet. So I was already set go to keep on assembling that first box that was going to have the machine recessed into it. But part of it was to create dados in that box to set the machine at the perfect height. So I've jumped over to the drawer unit, which is same size, but and it's also going to use dados as well. So I thought, you know, let's hook into there. First thing I need to do is to plug that iron in, which I forgot to do. So whilst that's happening, I'm going to read this, and I hope everyone's had a great week. It has been stinking hot here yesterday, the day before, and today's not looking any better. And today we have high wind as well. That is all primed for bushfire season, where we thought it was going to be nice and wet this season, but we'll see what happens. Okay, this week on the show, 29th of November 2020, machine and assembled the drawer unit for the quilting table for Viki, and I've already said we're waiting on the machine. A sender innerer, which was Lou and Deanna Adzema's carved and colourful kitchen. I'm going to show you those pictures. Lou did all the carving and created the kitchen, and Adzema, Deanna, he said it sounds like Vienna, but she's put a D in the front. So Deanna has done all the painting on it, and it really is colourful. You'd expect it to be straight out of Mexico somewhere, and I wonder if that's where you're from. The TSO Black Friday sale, TSO Products, some great prices on selected items. Well, they've sold out of a couple of them, but not to worry. And last week I said it was in the 48 contiguous states. Now that wasn't meaning it was contiguous as far as the election was concerned with the president. I thought that's what it actually was, but Viki corrected me, as she often does, and it's the continental states. So it's basically from Canada down to Mexico. It's not the one out in the ocean, Hawaii, and it's not Alaska. They're doing free shipping to those. Anything over $100 worth you buy from them, they'll ship it out this weekend. So it finishes tomorrow. So get in quick, because as I say, all the sale stuff, it's flying off the shelves. Now, also check the video description box down the bottom for my giveaway, which is my own 30 and 50-inch parallel guide system from TSO Products. Next week, we'll be continuing work on the quilting bench for Viki, edge stripping the melamine with rock maple using the domino. So that's what we're going to see next week. So at the moment, I'm hoping the iron is there. It's nearly there. There's still a little bit of a red mark on it. I'll do a quick read while we're waiting. Graham Bland, hopefully no fire calls. Matthew is someone from Warragul, Victoria. Sound of Vision, great. Morning, Dave and all. Paul Angus. I saw, Paul, you were watching Cole Hosey over at the Gifkins Jig video, and isn't that great? It's so good that Cole's doing this live. You really do need to take advantage of it. This is something he's really put his neck out there because, you know, everyone's trying to have to work from home, so he's showing you these things. Watch what he does, subscribe to the channel, and give him a thumbs up when he's doing stuff. Pam's in the background, being the moderator and keeping everyone informed about what Cole's doing. Great teamwork. Next one. John Parra, good morning. Good evening, everyone. Brian, morning, Dave. Nate Coyle, hello. Harry, hello, Dave and all. Harry, great to see that you can actually see the show today. Stephen, we are living in a 1-degree world. What will bushfire risk be in a 2-degree world? Exactly right. Okay. Paul, morning. Mike Diem, how good was Cole's sandpaper board? Yep. Yes. That's an old trick a lot of them use. Okay, the iron is right. So let's hook in. This is my special little dispenser that I made for edge tape. I tear it off with a thumbnail, put it on. All of this stuff, remember, has been cut out with the track saw, and I use the parallel guides. I'm going to bring that around that side. Beautiful. This is a great little iron. It was given to me by Peter and Wendy Lisiak. And I actually had dinner with them last night. And Kate, Peter's sister. It's a great little iron. Next thing, block to push down hard. Basically all we've done is activated the glue with the heat. This is only one little part of what we're going to be doing today. I'll disconnect that because I've already done the other end. And we're going to trim the ends. Now if you want any of these things and you want to buy them online because you don't want to go out, you can get them if you're in Australia. You can get them from Carbotech. I'm not saying you have to do it. I'm just saying if you want to. If you do want to go that way, I ask you to consider using my link in the description box. It's an affiliate link. And also Fix It Fingers has become an affiliate with Carbotech as well. So congratulations there. That's a big thing. It is a big thing. Don't you love that part? And my little plane from Wood River. I'm going to do something a little bit different today on these as well that I haven't done before, or when I've been showing you guys how to do it. And that is I'm going to use a little bit of polyethylene as a sanding block because it's pretty hard. But this is dense polyethylene, but it works okay. And I've got a bit of 400 grit sandpaper on it, and I'm going to just slowly rub it a little bit along the edge. Now I'm not putting it flat against the board. I'm tilting it over around about 10 degrees. I don't want to scratch the surface. And this just makes it that little bit nicer. And then I use my thumbnail. Get this part. This is, if you haven't got a thumbnail, I don't know, maybe a piece of plastic, but I put my thumbnail against it and run it along, and that actually gets rid of the little bits of glue that squeeze out the side. It's not, they don't teach you that at tech. Maybe there's a reason. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to bring the camera in close so you can have a look at how that is. It's basically just as if you were to buy it off the shelf. So I get it so it's not focusing on anything in the background. There you go. It's so easy. Don't want to look at the ceiling. Put it back over there and over there. All right, take it off and then we're ready for the next stage. That's a large panel it was holding. It goes well on the bench there. Jump back over here for a second. All right. Reading down here, love watching Cole. Thanks for putting us onto Cole's channel. That's not a problem. He's a nice guy. Pam's a lovely woman and they do a great job. What a team. How do I keep my workshop cool? I'll tell you why. We'll stop here just for a second. I can't spend too much time chatting today because I've got a lot to go through. This room is fully insulated. All the walls and the ceiling have insulation. It's a fiberglass insulation and spun polyester. Above the roof on this particular building, I have a lot of solar panels as well for generating electricity. And they cover from basically where I'm standing here down to the rest of the workshop. And they act as a sunshade over the top of the roof. And they sit up about 4 or 5 inches above the actual roof on the outside, and I have a breeze goes through there. Also in here, I have one reverse cycle air conditioning split system down the other end of the workshop. And I have 2 fans, one over on the side and one down there. And also the air filter, the room air filter up there acts as a fan as well. So I'm circulating the air, I'm cooling it, and also I'm stopping the heat before it actually gets in here. And it's beautiful. In here at the moment, it's 25 degrees, outside it's 34. And going back to Fahrenheit, that's 93 outside, 77 in here. Very, very comfortable, no sweaty armpits. What can I say? All right, 37 in Penrith and Jordan Springs. Good morning, Don, how are you? My old foreman used to keep his thumbnail long and sharp for this kind of stuff and for cutting tape. It's funny the things that you do that people, you're kind of a little bit worried about telling people because they'll think you're skanky or something. You just started walking upright a couple of days ago. I don't know. Good evening, Yizu013. All right, I'm going to go down to the other end. I'm going to move with this camera down to the pocket hole jig, the Craig Foreman. And when I've got down there, I'll switch it over to the other camera. Yes, all of this technology, hey? I've got to do it so that I don't get in the way of anything. I think that'll be okay there. I'll have a look when I come back over here, and it'll tell me whether I've got to lift the camera or not. Very busy with a new puppy, are you? Let's go to camera 3 and see what it's like there. It's not bad. It'll show you what I'm after. All right, here we go. There's the other camera. I'm not going to be able to do any chatting while I'm down there with you guys. I'm just going to be talking through what I'm going to do. Now this is a pneumatic Craig Foreman. Turn it around just a little bit more. And I don't know if you can see me here or not. What I've done is I've moved the fence back a little bit, because even though I'm working with 5/8 or 16mm thick material, I'm using the 1¼ screws, so it's 32mm long screws for softwood. So it's the coarse screw that you use for particle boards. Now, well, I'll put that away. The compressed air runs this. I pull down on the handle here. This little clamp here pushes down hard on the product that I'm about to put the pocket holes in. And also the reason I push this back is also I'm running with rebates. I'm doing a 2mm deep rebate, which is basically a 1/16 of an inch, and 2mm deep dados. Now for you people in the States, you'll call it a rabbit. In England and Australia and Canada and the rest of the world, I think they call it rebate. I often get accused of saying, oh, well, a rebate is what you get from the tax man. Anyway, so we're going to do a few pocket holes here and there. This one doesn't have any pocket holes. This one's going to get dadoed. This petition will be pocket holed. Doesn't really matter where I put the pocket holes in this particular one. I'm doing this because I want to be able to hold the thing together while I'm gluing it. Now, there's some areas I'm not going to be able to get clamps onto, so I need to make sure that I can do that. And I'm going to use the pocket hole screws to act as clamps. Here we go. Now, I could have done this with the K4 or the K5, but this is a lot quicker. There's 4 done. I don't even have the dust extraction turned on today on this. You can hear the compressor just kicked up. You can get these as electric. I don't know if they do them as pneumatic versions anymore. Oh, that's no good. It's lucky it's going to get buried in the dado. See, rushing. I'll slow it down a little bit. I got time to get through everything I need to today, but I hate getting caught right at the end and thinking, oh, if only I'd gone a little bit faster there. Okay, so that's all the pocket holes done. In that petition, and I might come back to that very soon, but the next thing to do is to work on the dado stack here. I'm going to check up the front here. It's not too bad. Not too bad. All right, now, I'm going to use the dado stack on my table saw instead of using a router cutter on my router table. The reason being, the panels that I'm doing are substantial in size. I could put the panels down on the bench and run a router over the top. But this is quick, and I haven't shown anyone how to use dado stacks. Now, dado stack has got 2 lots of, I'll bring it up so you can have a look. Actually, I might even bring the camera around this side so you can see a little bit better. I'm going to spin this around so I can see what's happening here. I can keep my eye on everything. Oh, that's better. Cool. Now, in in the UK, I don't think you're allowed to have these guys. Now, each of these teeth on the stack, so these are the outside blades that cut, and they've got little wings on them that create a little very, very sharp edge, which delivers a really crisp edge on whatever I'm creating the dado or the rebate on. The chippers, which are these little blades on the inside, there's a chipper there, there's another chipper there, there. They have 4 points. All they're doing is cleaning out the rubbish. There's another one there, cleaning out the rubbish in the middle of the slot. Let me see if I've got a piece here that I've been working on. I can show you exactly what I mean. Here we go. Now, there's the dado there that I've created with this. You can see this, this is when I was doing testing. I was checking the width, and I have shimmed. You can see I've got a little bit of a gap there. I want to get rid of that, and I've got a bit of a gap there. I've screwed this together with the pocket holes, and you can see that I'm doing tests to get the right depth so that the screw didn't push through on the outside at all. These things, pardon me, they're all adjustable. Okay, so back to the dado stack. I'm going to spin that around. Now this saw is my old Carbotech left-hand tilter, 10-inch saw, and these do take a dado stack. Their arbor is long enough to hold on. There's a lot of saws out there that on purpose, their arbor is not long enough to do this. And I'll spring this around here. This guy down here is the arbor. Now you can see it's protruding past. It allows me to put the nut on and also that flange to hold everything. Okay. Dado stacks are not allowed in the EU as well. Well, there you go. G'day, Sean. How are you? And back around there. So now what I've got, without dropping any of those down there, I'm going to take the outside blade off and put it there. And I'm going to remove one of the shims. So I've got a couple of shims in there. Now these are metal shims on this particular stack, and it says 0.02. That's 0.2 of a millimeter, 1/5 of a millimeter. I'm going to have a look at my stack here, and this one, as I say, came with stainless steel shims. I'm going to look for 0.1. There we go. There's 0.1 of a millimeter thick. How cool is that? All right. Because I just wanted to reduce it that little bit. I'll put it back in there, or the 0.1 shim in, and I'll put the main blade on. Don't put it in backwards, because that's just a disaster waiting to happen. It tells you where everything's got to happen here. This is the Torquata stack. I'm very happy with these ones. All sorts of companies sell stacks. I try and line up so that the outside, they're in line together. Don't have these pushed hard up. Don't line the teeth up like that, because you're going to be pushing the carbide against the other carbide, and the saws, these blades all have a kerf so that the teeth are actually wider than the blade itself. I'm going to put the flange back in. It's a little bit interesting while I'm working from the side. Normally I'm right over it, and there we go. Now, when you're using a stack, there is no need for a blade guard that's mounted in here. If you've got a blade guard that can sit over the top, well, that's great. But the thing is, the stack is going to be under the timber. You don't even see the stack while it's spinning, which can be dangerous, I guess. Anyway, tighten it up. I'm going to move around here just a little bit. And I'm hoping that that's going to give me a perfect result. And lower the stack down. Ordinarily, back here is where my riving knife or my blade guard mounts in the throat of the saw table. There really is no need to have that. You know I'm a safety freak, and I always have the guards on whenever I've got the standard blade on. And this is the insert that I have for the standard blade. I make these things up. And this is one that I've made for my dado stack, which is a 5/8, 16 mil. I've made a fair few of them up for different sizes. Dado stacks are big in the States. They're not so big here or obviously in Europe. Now I need to make sure that I'm going to have 2 millimeters deep, because that's what I've set this job up at, for 2 millimeter deep dado. This here is a dado, in case you aren't familiar with what a dado is. Basically it's a slot to a certain width to accommodate another piece of material when I put it in there. So that's that one. All right, I'm going to move the camera over the other side here. Paul, you got your saw stop contractor, hey? That's lovely. And I'm going to put it up the end here further, I think. The reason being, I don't want the camera to be in my way. Don't tell me I pulled the plug out. Oh, no, 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 no. It's not going to come back either. That's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. I'm going to have to go to the other camera. Sorry, guys. The plug came out of the video camera when I moved it. I'm going to have to go to this other one. What a catastrophe. I cannot, with this program, I can't change it. That is a blow. I can't reconnect the camera without turning it off, the show off and back on again. I wonder. I really don't want to risk it. Look, we'll just work with what I've got here, and hopefully we'll get there. That is terrible. I'm going to have to get some connectors for the cables so that it just cannot separate. All right. Hey, Peter, how are you? Now, I'm going to leave that jig off. We're going to put it on in a minute. But let me come back over here. I'm going to grab one of the boards that's 308 millimeters to this side of this, to that side. So it's going to be 308 plus a little bit. I think it'll be okay if I do them all at one size. Yes, definitely. All right. This is awkward with one camera. Okay. So you might see here, this is where I've got to put the dado. Now I need to check that I've got the right depth. And to do that, I'm going to cut a block. And I'm going to bring the blade over to this over here. And you can't see a thing, can you? Oh, this is terrible. Not to worry, I'll persevere. How can I do this? I can move that camera. I'm going to move it around, don't get seasick. There we go. I think I've got a get out of jail free card here. What else have we got? I can bring that camera. This is thinking on the run. If I can bring that camera around to there and sit this one on top of it, that that might work. No, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. It might. Okay. Duct tape. Yep. Single camera like the old days. So here I am again. So what I've got is I've got the dado stack there. I've raised it up to whatever height it's going to be. Let me lower it down just a little bit. It's a little high. I think about there. I'm going to run a test piece, turn on the dust extraction, and you'll understand what I mean. Close that one. And that one, that's all working there. You'll understand what I mean. I'm using a push block. These things are fantastic. These do not let go. So I'm going to use a push block and I'm going to push that over the top. Everything's good. Now the stacks turn for a long time. That's what I've got. That's way too deep. But because I've got that, now I can check the width, the thickness. That's pretty good. I could have gone a little bit lighter, a little bit narrow, but I'm going to go with that. Now I need to check the depth and use the calipers for that. So checking depth, I don't know if you know with a caliper, this end here is your depth check. See how I've just pulled that out? It's telling me depth. So now I just slide it down like so, and it's 2.95. I'm 0.95 of a millimetre too high. So I've got to go down a bit. I've gone just a little bit. Try that. I'll move it over just a touch. And lock it. Pull that back. Start her up. Can you see? It's not as deep now. It's 2.43. Still too tall. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to check it across because there might be a little bit of depth in my insert there. So I'm going to go metal to metal. I'm going to go this way now. We'll see how that goes. That's looking pretty good. .36. I'll lock these up so they don't get caught again. These things can drop down to push. You can see it had a little nick on it then as it went past. It's nothing to worry about. Got to go down just a touch more. Move it across a little bit more. That's better. You can see that now. I'm hoping. Let's see what we've got there. Well, I've gone too far. 1.28. Raise it up just a touch. Well, I know where I'm very close in the vicinity. I'm going to go to there, and that's going to be it. One more pass. And then we'll put the big stuff on. Didn't get it. Nothing. I was right over where it was. I'll spin it around this way. Let's see how that goes. Ah, that looks beautiful. That's going to do me. All right. Looks scary. Gary, it's not too bad. No, I'm not using any depth measuring bars or anything like that. I'm just going straight at it. Now I'm going to come back over to where I need to be for these. So I'm going to pop this one up on the bench there and get a pencil. Pencil or a pen. Pencil will do fine. Okay, now you can see this is where the dado's got to be. I'm going to put a mark left and right. Now, it doesn't matter in this particular instance, it doesn't matter if I get it spot on or not because I'm going to be referencing all of my pieces off here, I get caught where the camera is. Okay, so I can move this across. And that's pretty good. Now, because I'm using large, I'll just turn that dusty off for the moment. Because I'm using large sections, I also like to hold the back of the table saw fence down with a clamp. So I'm going to move that out of the way. Bring this clamp in. It goes into the back. It can't go anywhere. All right. Time again, and we're going to feed it in from here, over the top, out the other side, and I'm going to do that on 4 parts of this machine, 4 parts of this cabinet. Turn on the dusty again. Working around everything. And my push block to hold things down. Come under here and turn the saw on. All right, main thing is to hold it down over the stack. And keep your fingers away from the back here. I know where the blade's going to be, those marks are there. Turn it off. And we'll have a quick look. And that, my friends, is a beautiful dado that's been cut there. Lovely. That's perfect. So I'm going to do that, wait for this thing to stop. I'll check the thickness again. Lovely. Beautiful. We'll move that fellow over there. So it's out of the way of the fence here, so it can't, you must make sure that I've got clear travel outside the others there. And the next one. Yeah, working around this camera is not ideal. If I'd had the camera over there, it would have worked fine, but it's not really going to reach. I'm going to do a quick change. Give me a second. We're working with the one camera and I can't turn it off while I do this. Under there, over there. Disconnect that. Move this up to here. That might, no, it doesn't want to. If I come up under there and then on top, that's got it. Back a bit. How's that? That's going to work. Lovely. All right, now remembering where I'm at, the dado is going to go there. It's got to go parallel to the edge. Turn the saw back on. Off. Move that one there. I've got 2 more to do. See, that one's come up quite well as well. Now you can. All right. All right, so the 2 sides. And also we've got to do the rebates in these ones. Anyone dizzy? There's always someone, isn't there? And that one. I made those polycarbonate track locks or dog locks the other day on the CNC. If you caught the video, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. Push these through. Okay, so that's it for the dados. Next thing is rebates, or rabbits. So I've got to create a rabbit there and a rabbit there. To do that, I'm going to use, wait for the stack to finish. Very important. These things are dangerous if you don't give them any respect. But if you've got your wits about you, it's like electricity. You know, you can kill yourself with electricity. This is my sacrificial fence, and it's held on by this little jig here that's got a couple of rare earth magnets. Again, I did a video on how to do this, how to make it, and I'm going to bring this across because whilst I'm working with a stack, I don't want to destroy the edge of my fence, so that's right up to it. I'm going to lock that there. Beautiful. Now I'm going to lock it in position with the rare earth magnets. So it's not, it ain't going anywhere. I love it. All right, and again at the back to make sure that it doesn't move around. If I can. Actually, that one's not going to catch. Oh, it's just going to. There, that's got it. Beautiful. All right, a couple of rebates. Okay, so you can see I'm going to push along and it's not going to damage my fence at all. It's just going to be perfect, I'm hoping. Where are we? Now these, I've already put the mark where I need to go. So that's in the correct position where it is. And I'll get the other one ready. I've got to do 4, so it's 2 on the 2 sides. I think we're doing okay for time. Here we go. My push block. And come around the back a little. Now you'll see it chipped out the tape a little bit there, but I'll clean that up with a chisel after it. I don't know what happened. Oh, it's just dirt. See, it's not a big issue, but that's really nice. So we'll spin it around, we'll do the other side. All good. Go very slowly at this part. There we go. And have a look. Done. Beautiful. 2 more, and then I think then we're ready for assembly. I'm going to do a quick read. Feeder cold, so electric, no painting required. I see, I have that here in Portugal though. No shims used. Kind of weird that. Thanks anyway. Thanks Peter. Stay warm, Ted. Should be fine as long as no water damage. Okay, there you go. I'm sure there's heaps of conversation there that I didn't quite catch up on. Let's turn the dust extractor on. All the stuff that's coming out of here is going straight down into the cabinet, so it's going to start getting picked up now and taken over to the dusty. And spin her around. Start her up again. Done. All right. I think we're going to go back over to the main point over here and see if we can assemble it. I'll check that I've got all of the pocket holes in the positions where they need to be. They're all pocket holed. Turn that off. That's pocket holed. I'll put a few in here. It's only 6 to go. They go on the back and they go there. No, that's all done. They're done. Oh well, all done. I don't need to put any more pocket holes in. Camera. Back to where everyone would be comfortable with it. Dear. How's that looking? Not too bad. There's one thing to do this kind of stuff. It's another thing to be the cameraman and also the technician if things stuff up. Not to worry. Not to worry. Now this is all going to be held together via the just moving things around there, by the grace of God. I'm going to put some glue on it. I'm actually going to do a quick dry fit to start. OSB is available in Australia. I've got no idea where you can get it from, but you guys keep on chatting, as I know you love to do while I'm in the middle of running all this stuff around. Two more pieces to get. I nearly picked up a piece from the other cabinet. That would have been terrible. All right, what do we got left? How much time? 20 minutes. We'll do it easy. Easy. All right. Now, if only I could get that camera here. And I think I can. I'm going to assemble it on the floor here. So I'm going to move that camera around to the corner here. Again, this is totally different. Move that over there. Bring this bad boy over here. And please don't disconnect anything. You'd think you'd be able to reconnect a camera while on the trot, but you just can't with this particular program. Move this over to here and then aim it down. How are we going? That's not too bad. All right. Okay. Is there a broom around or not? Yes. All right. Give this a quick sweep. The reason being I don't want anything holding up as I'm going along. That'll do. Now, the base, I think, is this, or is this a side or is it the base? Edge, this is a side. Let's get, this one is the partition. This one is the top. So I'll put this one down first. Let me see, the best way for you guys to see it's going to be probably here, possibly here. How do you like that? All right, the partition, I'm going to see how it fits. Oh, that fits in nicely, and it should be the same width, and it is. And that's going to be, see that? Oh, this is good. I'm happy with this. Look at that. Sits there on its own. Right, so we need to get some glue, and I'm going to drive those pocket holes in right now. So this is why these things are so good when you're doing a glue up. I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident. Drill and screws and glue. Glue is the last thing that I was thinking of there. I'll use the Type Bond 3 because it's the strongest. This stuff, I'm not sponsored by them. But if you want to get some from Carbotech, use the link down the bottom to get to Carbotech, and then I kind of am sponsored by them, I guess. To there. Lovely. Take that off. Now, because this is a draw carcass, no one is going to be seeing inside. So I don't really need to worry about squeeze out at all of the glue when I put this on. This is easy. Oh. See, the preparation makes it all good. The preparation really does help. Now, also melamine is very sharp, so I was very careful when I was just doing that part then. Bring it up flush and flush. Beautiful. We'll put a pocket hole screw in there. It's got him. Easy. And a couple more. Now, I've got a little bit of a lean this way, and that's because the pocket hole screw is pulling it this way. When I put the rest of the cabinet together, the dados are going to line it up and pull it back before the glue gets a chance to dry. So it'll work. Wow, it's terrible when people's gears get stolen. Ooh, that one might have gone in a tad too deep. but it's not going to worry too much. I'm going to back the clutch back to possibly 5 on the little CXS. That's better. Love it, love it, love it. All right, let's see how it looks when I stand it up. It sure does cut, yes. Now that I've got it like that, I can now put a side on. Let's stand that camera up a little to there. Are you enjoying it? This is on the fly. I'm enjoying putting it together. I love it. And it's for the girl in my life, and that all makes it better, doesn't it? Yes, melamine is extremely hard and sharp. So be careful doing this. Favour the centre. Yeah, we're a funny bunch, us woodworkers, aren't we? Like, who would watch someone putting some glue? No, I'm not running straight along. What I'm doing is I'm sliding my finger down, dragging the glue to the side. I could use a brush, but I'm living on the edge. Excellent. Now, I've got to put a side on there. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see if this will do it. Or whether I've absolutely stuffed all the measurements up. I did say I was going to put it together dry, didn't I? I'm sure there's going to be people say, Dave, you said you're going to put it together dry. Let's see how we go. Back a little to there, and looking underneath, across. There we go. Come on, you can do it. It's just ever so slightly. The glue is, Cole will tell you, the glue is starting to absorb it slightly. There we go. Back to it. Come on. Gotcha. And got it. Gotcha. Beautiful. Didn't take me too long, did it? Look, out of the way. You're a very helpful clamp most of the time, but right at the moment, you're annoying me. Let's get a screw in there to hold it steady. Beautiful. And one there. We'll take it up to 6. Now the screws are going to disappear, believe it or not. Oh, that's just magic. That's a beautiful corner. They're all going to disappear because the top is going to go over the top of this and you won't see it. And also the screws are pulling the joint together a bit tighter. Good. I'll put a clamp on it all at the end to pull those parts together. Now I need to duck underneath the table whilst this part's happening. Put the screws in. Got it. Lovely. I could have had the camera under here for this part, but it didn't happen because it disconnected. Beautiful. Okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to put a clamp on that one as well, just to pull it up tight. Back these off. Come on. Tighten that up. That's better. And back in. It had just moved a little bit, but using the clamp pulled it all nice and tight. There we go. Whoop. Compressed air now is going to join in and help. All right, the next panel to go on. And we'll pull that tight when I put the other side on. I'll put the other side on now, I think. Yep. So a bit of glue there. You can see my mistake, can't you? I really should have put it together. I've only allowed one. Have I put it on the right way? I sure have. So my mistake is 872, 884. I have cut this panel slightly tall along here. You can see it's gone to the outside instead of here. Now I can undo these screws and take it out and it'll be okay. I've just ripped this down. So what I'm going to do in the meantime is I'll take this partition out. This is live. This is a mistake. This happens. And you should have guessed, Google, we do a lot of bathrooms. Okay. So what I've got to do is I've got to trim this much off. I've got to take 16 millimeters off that piece and then it'll all work perfectly. Hence, I should have done a dry fit. So I'll undo it and that's okay. And then we'll quickly have a look at the kitchen, which I think is from Mexico. Too much in one show. I think that's the problem. We'll whip this out before it the glue gets it properly. Gotcha. Okay, so there's a rescue. And it doesn't worry me. It really doesn't. Back corners together. I can put the other one on, and then I can slide the other unit straight down. Oh dear. It's fun, isn't it? I'm going to spin this camera around here. Over to this side. Yeah, everything joined in to get me today, didn't it? Not to worry. Cup of tea. Oh, I make mistakes, Stephen. I make a lot of mistakes. One of the mistakes was having the show today, I think. Not to worry. Not to worry. Not to worry. I'm humanizing again. That's all right. All right. So what had happened, I'd only allowed for one side of the unit for the dado instead of two sides thickness when I subtracted for the partition. I should have taken 32 millimeters less 28 millimeters off the overall width of the cabinet, and I didn't. I only took 14. So there you go. Let's have a look at Lou's project. This is really nice. This will make you forget about my mistake. I'm going to continue on building this afternoon, but here we go. Dave, this is a joint project of my wife and I. This is from Lou Adzima. It is the dining room update we've been working on. So this is, let's switch over to here. And that's looking pretty cool. So this west wall is all new, yet to be finished, coloured, stained and painted. To the window seat we added a sunset that I hand carved, and Deanna, sounds like Deanna, painted it. Since this is on the west wall when the sun goes down, here it may be on its way to Australia to you. Okay, are you ready, guys? Here we go. So Lou made this sunrise pattern in his workshop, as well as a few other things. And here we go. This is in the kitchen. So it's just showing you little parts around it. And Deanna has started painting. How cool is that? And this is the window seat. Now she's carried this theme on around the room. And this is now the kitchen looking better. That was that original window seat we saw a little earlier. And another part which is going on top of another unit. And you can see either side. She's carried the theme with the sunsets around the room. Very colourful. And they do like the colour. And this is a PowerPoint that Lou has put basically a power board in. And he's got a little cover that rolls down and covers it. So it all started back there, and let me see if I can find that last picture there. How nice is that? That is so good. Thank you so much for sending that in, Lou. It does look great, doesn't it? That's teamwork, where it's fantastic. Okay, so next week I'll continue to look like an idiot with building this. Hold on, what's happened there? This one here, building this thing for the love of my life, but I'm going to fix it up this afternoon. And it'll all be good. It won't be a problem. Yeah, so if you've got projects like that, send them in to me. Down the bottom, you'll see that there's the link to Dave Stanton Fans or whatever @gmail.com. Send stuff into me there, and I'll see if I can get it up on the show for you during on the show, obviously. Having a shocker. I'm just thinking now what Viki's going to be saying to me. Oh, that was a bad one. She's right. She's dead right. Anyway, don't forget the TSO Products stuff this weekend. It's half of it sold out already. I told you it's a good deal. Get it while you can. If you can use my affiliate link, that's all the better. That's great. But it does a magic job. Look at that. Look at the edge that I've got there using the track saw and using the guides and everything. It just works so well. If you don't have a table saw, this is a way of doing it. All right, let me see what else we got here. Down to here. There we go. All good. Thanks for watching. Look after yourselves. Be nice to each other. Jump into the patrons chat just after the show. Give me a couple of minutes to go and bury my head in the corner for a bit. And I'll see everyone next week. Bye.